3 has started already. We have plans, we have prospects on what we want to achieve. And for some people, the idea of seeking for a better standard of living by emigrating to a new country is one of the prospects they have in this year. So the idea of this video, or the purpose of this video, is to help preparing anyone who has decided that I am going to JAPA. And the word JAPA comes from a Nigerian slang, which is to emigrate for a better standard of living, to get an education, or for whatever reason that you are trying to seek a life abroad. So the key of this video is actually to help us prepare the practical steps that we need to take, because I get asked these questions a lot. I want to move abroad. I want to live abroad. I want to study abroad. What are the things I can do? Where do I go to find relevant information that would help this process be seamless? And I can tell you something now. There's nothing like a seamless process when you decide to move from your own country to a new country where you would not have probably friends, family, and even people or language or things you are familiar with. So the idea of this video is to offer practical tips on what to expect. And I apply this Murphy's Law to whatever plans or whatever thing you intend to do about moving. And Murphy's Law is that if anything can go wrong, it will go wrong. So the key here is in having the mental preparedness, taking the practical steps that are needed in order to be able to avoid problems that would, or manage the problems that we would face when we are planning to go abroad. In this video, we're going to break it down into 3 aspects actually: the practical part, the mental part, and the experiences of those who have ventured to live or who have moved to a new country. But primarily in this aspect of this part of the video, we are going to focus more on the practical aspects. What do you need to do? Where can I go for information that would help me, irrespective of what kind of immigration I am trying to do, be it going for study abroad, exchange program, seeking a better standard of living elsewhere, work permits, and things like that. You need to know what to do in order to make that process very seamless. And I would apply, for example, my own knowledge or my experience here. I remember when I moved, or when I got a study place in Brazil, I was not really ready for what I faced when I arrived. It was kind of, I had to learn on the go. But if I had some information readily available to me, it would have made the process a bit easier. I would have been able to navigate better. But I learned. So the key here is in preparing. And what was the experience that I faced? I went to a country where I didn't know anyone. I didn't have enough money. And one of the mistakes that I made, that if I look back, it's actually very funny, is I departed my country on a Thursday and arrived on a Friday. I was going to school. And that means the first point that I should be going to was the school campus. But Friday evening, who is there to see in the school campus? And that was where my problems actually started. That I didn't know the language. I didn't know where to go to get the relevant information regarding, okay, how to go about my accommodation. Of course, these things were told to me beforehand at the embassy. But there's nothing that could prepare you better than facing the reality on ground. So the key is have realistic expectations, have realistic ideas about where you're going. In terms of the practical matters, what kind of immigration statute are you pursuing? This you need to know before you depart or even start the process of applying. Where can I fall in? If I am going to study abroad, for example, what information as a student do I need to know? Aside from getting the admission, aside from getting a place of study, there are key information that we need to be exploring. And for example, some of this information would have to do for where do I get the relevant information? If I have arrived the country, how many days do I need, or how many days is it required that I start the registration process? All these are things and information that we can get before we set out or depart to our country of, or the country we want to emigrate to. So the key is looking for relevant information. And one place I have found very important information or relevant information is on local forums. And this is something that is really key in helping a lot of people when they decide that they want to JAPA or they want to move or immigrate. Knowing key information regarding what people have gone through before, what experiences, what difficulties did those who have immigrated before me gone through. And one of the places to find this information is on local forums. Local forums, you could find it in any country. For example, if you Google forums for foreigners in Canada, for example, you would get a long list in Google, of such options, and going through this and picking the relevant one. Examine what people who have been through that experience have gone through. What links have they put on those forums? What information do I need to know? This is really relevant in making our trip or immigration process very seamless. And remember, there's nothing like a seamless immigration process. There will always be problems, but the key is whatever problems we are facing, whatever obstacle we are seeing, that we prepare ourselves and have the relevant tools to overcome them. And such tools could be found, for example, on the local websites or the immigration website of the country. There you would find what you need to do, how you need to do it, and what time period you need to do it. Because getting it right in the beginning is really important in making that trip or the process very easy. Also, it is good to have this mental preparedness. And the idea of having the mental preparedness is we are moving from a country where we know everything. We enjoy the food, the weather we are used to, we have family, we have friends. This is something that we are going to leave behind when we decide to move or immigrate abroad. So having the mental preparedness for this would help us carry through. And we are not going to go so deep into this aspect of the mental side because it's also very vast. In subsequent videos, we are going to highlight what we need to be doing mentally to prepare for this. But in this video, we're focusing more on the practical side. Know the immigration law, know the law of the country, know where to go for relevant information. And like I highlighted, go to local forums where you would see what experiences those that have gone through and how they overcame it. There are also going to be possibly links to websites links to official websites, or where you could get relevant information that would help the process. So in concluding, it is good that we kind of prepare ourselves. In the second part of this video, we're going to go more into the financial side also, because it's also key to get ready for the move financially. I remember when I took that trip to Brazil, I was not also financially ready for everything that was coming at me. I probably left home with about $300, and back then it was actually nothing. That money survived me for about 1 month. And remember I said I arrived on a Friday. Everything was closed. So that means I had to find an emergency accommodation because there was nothing I could do before a Monday. That means I had to be finding a place where I could stay over the weekend. And really, it was stressful. And this is something that we can always get ready for. So, being ready, searching for relevant information is really key to making success of your emigrating or JAPAing abroad. Let me know if you want further information on this in the comment section, and please engaged. Let's know your experience, what you went through, where did you look for information.